It's finally time. Dave Wick's on the podcast.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Shannon, the only moment you've been waiting for.
Oh, she's mortified, I'm sure.
This is the big moment, Wick. Great to have you on. You weren't expecting this, and you've been dragged into it, and there's no way out except through.
That is the best. You guys talk all the time about how these things are unscripted. I played a round of golf today with BG and Jeff Sharp and PT and Poggi and a bunch of regular members here, and just felt like stopping in after dinner to have a cigar. Next thing I know, I've got a mic in my hand and a headset on my head and
you've knocked over 3 drinks.
I have. Mostly Noah's. Sorry.
Noah, welcome back.
What's
I
up?
haven't seen you in 8 minutes.
Just the longest 8 minutes of my life.
You're back. We're going to be okay. Okay, really fun episode today that we're going to do. And by the way, just in case you've missed any of our previous episodes where we've referenced Wick, one of the co-founders here at Creekside Cigar Co. And he randomly stopped in when we were filming our podcast before this, and I was like, you're in. It's time. We got an open seat. Let's make it happen. So today, we are doing a Padron blind. Well, Noah and Wick are doing a Padron blind. And what it is 2 different Padron cigars, one at a lower price point, so think 1000 series, and then one at a higher price point, either the 6426s or the family series. You're going to smoke them both and just talk about what you're liking, not liking, and then at the end, you'll pick one, option A or option B, and then I'll let you know which one it is. I think this is an interesting way to go through a portfolio that has $10 cigars and $75 cigars.
And it's a great way for me to start on this podcast because they're both Padrones. Mm-hmm. So
well, that's why
you can't go wrong.
It was poetic when you walked in. I'm like, oh, Wick's coming in. We're breaking out the Padrones. All right, so you guys have cigar A. You're lit up. Give me first thoughts, and then we're going to go through some comments and questions that we've had on our YouTube videos over the past couple weeks. I love doing these now on the segments where we get to and Ramsey puts them up on the screen. We get to talk about them, interact. So all that to say, leave more comments because it's great to talk about them. And also, thank you to our Patreon members and the rest of the Creekside online fam that's in the Discord or in our comments or part of the Creekside Cigar Club. Really appreciate you guys engaging with the content that we've been putting out. It means a lot to us. So thank you. All right.
Especially me. I have no idea what you just said or what those things
Discord,
are.
Discord, Patreon.
But I think it's awesome that you guys are a part of it, and we're thankful.
Definitely. What do you think of so far? First couple puffs, Wick. And, definitely your first cigar of the day, so you should have a fresh palate.
So, as I mentioned, played golf today. And usually when I play golf, I have more than a cigar.
Yeah.
Which is certainly the case today. This is easy. I'm going to answer very easy. This is not a BG. It's good. This is a very, very well constructed cigar. Just very consistent smoke. The ash has started very you get that really light white gray ash. Just super, super quality. Tasting notes. I'm gonna leave that up to Noah.
Smooth draw. It's got a little bit of cocoa coming right off the front and some woodiness. And that's about it. But I literally lit it up, puffed it twice, and it's burning well so far.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, from a Padron construction
Coco
is like a baseline. Right? You expect that, it has to be. It's got Padron on it, whether it's 1000 series or a family reserve. It's going to be constructed well.
100%.
And I really do. We'll talk about that part later. I guess once we get into it, some of the Padrones that I really like, I think surprises a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm smoking one of my favorites, the 50 years. Not the 50th anniversary, but the 50 years family series. It's like a Robusto in Maduro, one of my all-time favorites. Just consistent. Tons of smoke output, draws perfectly every time, burns perfectly. You got to love Padron.
I'm going to make a wild guess.
Okay.
That's not what we're smoking.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
To be determined. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, this first question comes from Matthew Glibus 8162. Thank you for the comment, Matthew. Do you have a dress code? The lounge in the city nearest to me, you need a sports coat and dress pants. I live in Massachusetts.
No dress code.
No dress code
here at Creekside.
And there will never be one.
You know, that's what a pretentious thing for a cigar lounge to do, and is going to drive away a large portion of the people that could potentially come and enjoy the lounge. I understand dress codes in certain places.
You have to be clothed.
Yeah, I mean, wear clothes. I guess that's the dress code. Now, we've got guys that come in here in suits. We got guys that come in here in flip-flops and shorts. I mean, people come in here after work wearing their work clothes. Road crew guys, concrete layers, masons. I mean, it's a cigar lounge. You know, you shouldn't have a...
It's what makes it great.
But we also have the guy coming in here with a sport coat on.
Yeah.
There was and I was sitting here over the holidays, and there was an aged gentleman and his wife, like dressed to the nines. And this lady, I swear, her winter coat must have been a $3,000 winter coat.
Can you imagine what that winter coat smelled like?
I mean, we obviously are very proud of our ventilation.
We are, but you're still in a cigar lounge.
No, exactly. So I was like, hey, that looks like a very nice coat. My suggestion would be to keep it in your car.
Yeah. Yes.
So no, I think that was a big part of why we decided to open this place.
Yep.
Like, we want people from all walks of life. We definitely don't want anybody to feel like if they're not dressed a certain way, they can't come in here.
Yep.
This isn't a Southern Baptist church.
Yep.
Right?
You can dress how you want, come as you are.
I think mandating a dress code in a place that people are supposed to be comfortable and enjoy, you know, you don't have to be a classy establishment, you don't have to have all the pretentious BS that comes along with it.
Nope. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of the cool part about Creekside is like intentional, really nice design, furniture, layout, high-end service, but it does not matter how you want to enter. Literally, like I was in here the other day when guys came, looks like they came from a work job, from a site, neon, big boots, hard hats still on, and it's like, yeah, come on in.
That's my boy Logan.
Yeah, come on in, Logan. Anytime.
I mean, that's what we want, right? You want people who have had a hard day at work to come in and just spend an hour, spend 2 hours, just decompress, be yourself, hang out with real people.
You come as you are to hang out with the Creekside family.
That's right. And then become part of it. Welcome to Creekside. All right. Thank you, Matthew, for that question. Next one. This is from Stinkelberg.
Great name.
I love
Great
the
name.
handle. I love the handles.
I'm trying to think what member that would be.
I don't know.
I don't want to say.
Stinkelberg says, I'm a fairly new cigar smoker and definitely curious about all kinds of cigars. You guys have piqued my interest with all kinds of brands and styles, making me a little more confident in trying new cigars. And I mean, that's been a core focus from when we opened, and it's becoming even more of a focus now because I think so many people are coming in to the humidor to see things they've never seen before. And so balancing that with like having that expectation set that you can come get great brands that you know and love, but also you can try stuff that you'll never find anywhere else is kind of what we've begun like priding ourselves in with the selection in the humidor. So anyway, just curious anybody's thoughts on that.
So just a quick note on that.
Wick's a big boutique guy. That's how he got into cigars.
So yeah, there are many cigars in our humidor that I had never heard of 11 months ago, but I absolutely love now. Thank you. Thank both of you for that. But no, I think that's a great question. There's three gentlemen that just walked in here. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah. Friday night, but it's Friday.
Friday night. Sorry. And they're all in college. One just turned 21 years old. And he walked in and said, "I love," and he's a friend of one of my boys, and hadn't seen him in a long time. And he's, hey, hugged it up, and he's like, "Oh man, this place is so cool. Like, I love that I walk in and you're here, and I love that I walk in and you guys are doing a podcast. Like, this is awesome." He's like, "I'm like, so what do you like?" He's like, "Can you help me out with a cigar?" And I said, "I cannot, but I know the guy." And I looked right to Noah, and he said, like, "I'm a big fan of Tatuaje. I'm a big fan of Fuente, and I'm a big fan of Monte Cristo." And so I said, Noah, can you help this guy out? So this is a test. What did you end up selling him, Noah?
We walked through, and I think they ended up buying Rodriguez.
Oh,
the
heck
reserva
yeah.
provided. But I walked him through, and I told him, based on your flavor profile, we showed him my father, Flor de las Antillas.
Wait, can I interrupt one more time? I'm sorry.
Oh, please.
I did tell him, I told Noah, I'm like, these are college guys. They're not looking for $30 cigars.
I sold him 5 Byrons. No, that's not what we did, right? So
They're not going to be able to buy textbooks next
we
semester.
looked at
but
a few
they're
different
going to smoke
offerings.
great cigars.
Yeah, well, pick one. We looked at a few different offerings from my father, the Flor de las Antillas, the Fratello Classico, showed him the Bianco 2 Nero.
yeah.
We looked at, what else we looked at? We looked Domain, went through the Domain portfolio, and probably a few others. I know that was
And they went RP.
RP.
Tried and true.
And they're also smoking some classics that were gifted to them, customs gifted to them by
cool.
Wick. So I think they had a couple 1381s and Compadre in their hand.
It's almost the 1 year anniversary of 1381.
I mean, a young 21-year-old cigar fan comes in, and the first thing he asks me is, do you guys have your own private label cigars?
To the cardboard box.
Of course we do.
We have a magical cardboard box.
And if you come in and ask for the magical cardboard box, you might get something out of it.
Not asking is a quicker way to get things out of it. but you can.
But knowing about it might be a quicker way. Because if you know, you know. That means you're watching the pod.
Touche.
So another guy sitting in here tonight who I just met, Daniel, comes in and I think you guys were here, and Ryan, salesman extraordinaire, was
the weekend guy,
working
they call
in the
him.
back, the weekend guy. So he went in and picked out a couple of cigars on his own. I mean, this is uncanny what he picked out. He picked out Sin Compromiso and Sober Mesa. Like, those are, I told him, I'm like, those are Connor's like 2 favorite cigars, right? And there are cigars that most people that come in here don't know.
Yeah, 100%. And he went in there and picked those.
Yeah.
Man, Connor, we were just talking about you, Connor. A couple things.
Oh, wait, yeah. Can I bring
Dress
this up?
code. Yeah,
Can I bring
please,
this up?
please.
So Connor.
Wait, actually, hold on. Before you bring that up, before I forget, I wore my Griffin Dave hat today because on the last podcast,
That was hilarious.
Connor had some choice words for the Griffin Dave Vanguard.
He roasted y'all.
But I just wanted to show you my confidence is that I wore this on the day that he wasn't going to be here. So this is my passive way of saying I love Griffin Dave cigars, and so should you. Anyway, over to you, Wick.
I'm trying to decide if this is better or worse than a Vanguard. I don't know.
Oh, man.
The only way to know is to head to griffindave.com and buy a box. Try it for yourself.
Sorry, where were we? Oh, Connor. Connor. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right camera here. I've watched a lot of these videos, and I think they're amazing. I think you do a great job. I think you are one of the 3 faces of Creekside, which I love and appreciate. But, dude, do you only own 1 pair of jeans? I mean, you are wearing the same pair of jeans in every single podcast.
Show him, Ramsey.
Am I wrong?
He's wearing them in. This is the denim geeks. I'm learning about this.
Connor's
Raw
very-
denim.
Hey,
You got to break them in. And I've heard that raw denim people don't wash their jeans. They put them in the freezer. Did you know this?
I mean, I would not be surprised one bit if Connor puts his jeans in a
Connor's
freezer.
got a chest freezer at his house of denim.
He has educated me against my will on this selvage denim thing that they're into. Look, I'm a 505 guy, right? I got a few pairs of Levi's, but I change them. Right? I don't wear the same ones every time. It's a thing. I don't know. He's into it.
I wore jeans in here one time, and Connor, like, first thing he said to me was like, "Wick, I don't think I've ever seen you in a pair of jeans before." I almost said, "I've never seen you not in that pair of jeans before."
That's our boy CP. That's our boy CP. This is what happens
The goal
when
is
you
to
take time
bring
off
them
and you're not on the pod.
We're gonna flame you.
Connor, you know that I love you, but I also know that you gave me a lot of crap on the Oscar Valladares
Yes, the Superfly.
Superfly, which, for the record, was not my go-to cigar. But
yeah, we know. We saw your dissertation in the comments.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But
Long-ass comment.
I got a mic, Connor. coming back at you.
Got him.
Change your damn pants, boy.
Oh, this is the perfect segue. It's actually not. This has nothing to do with it, but I'm just trying to give Connor a breather. He's sitting at home watching this on YouTube, and he's like, when is it going to stop? Skip to this point in the episode if you'd like to not have to go through that again, Connor. Okay, next comment comes from Charles Joseph 730. Pretty straightforward name, Charles. He simply says, no Roma Craft. No Roma Craft, question mark.
Okay.
I tried to say question mark after craft. You try it.
No Roma
All of
Craft.
you laughing at me. Roma Craft, question mark. I never really smoked Roma Craft. Has anybody here? Like, I've had a couple. The like something with a T. Aquitaine. I guess that's an A, but the T really stands out to me. I've had the Aquitaine. It was strong, heavy, like dense Nicaraguan type smoke. I never really went down the Roma train. Have either of you?
I've had some Roma Craft cigars. I think it was.
I'm not against them.
The Cro-Magnon was like the one that I remember, and that thing was just an absolute powerhouse. Not my cup of tea. They have their own reputation for a reason. They're very good made cigars, I'm sure. We do have, though, I'm going to plug Domain Cigars. Isn't Esteban, is that his name?
Yeah.
That works with Daniel.
Yep.
Started out at Nico Sueña. And
Yep.
so if you want, some Roma Craft-esque cigars, I think that the Domain line is a lot like Roma Craft in that it's a very bold, concentrated flavor type smoke. So we have some cigars from the original Roma Craft guys.
Yeah, or at least, the guys that run the factory
Yeah,
that make the cigars. So
that's the guy, right?
yeah.
So, Ember, you know me and my cigar, my deep knowledge of cigars. I am I'm a marketing guy. I'm a branding guy. Like, I'm a sucker for.
He's old Mo.
Old Mo. I'm a sucker.
I've just been waiting.
I mean, my daughter was giving me such a hard time about this hat tonight at dinner. But anyway, I would need to see a band to know if I've smoked one before.
Great point. When I get a second, I'll pull it up for you and you can
All
see
right,
it,
all right.
and we'll come back to it.
What I will tell you is, if I have, it wasn't memorable enough for me to remember and go buy a box of them.
I'll say, too, that markets are different everywhere. You talk about marketing, right? We have our own market here. We have maybe a grouping of people who wouldn't buy cigars down the street or would, or, frequent other lounges and stuff like that. And I can remember in a year of doing this now, maybe one or two people have said, hey, do you guys have, or are you planning on getting Roma Craft? It's not something that's been asked of us
Yeah.
or demanded by us. And so,
Yeah, that is interesting. Like, maybe Cincinnati's just not a big Roma Craft market.
Cincinnati's not a big market on a lot of things that I thought it would be big on. And I guess Roma Craft just isn't
What's
one
the
of those.
biggest one that surprised you?
The biggest, probably Caldwell, and it's the
Yes,
Caldwell just
we tried to
totally
make that
flopped
work
here.
so bad.
I tried so hard. I enjoy Caldwell cigars, but again, I kind of see certain ones coming like kind of in and out of favor.
Yeah.
I feel like my father sort of had like a lull here where people just weren't touching it. Now
But
we have
now,
our
dude,
core
it's-
line of my father.
Yeah.
There. We had a lot, and people weren't grabbing certain ones, and we figured out exactly what they want. We
And now they
consolidated
fly.
to that, right? And so we're learning our market. But
So to follow that up, like, what do you think is a Roma Craft market?
I don't
Is
know.
that Florida?
I mean, they're a Texas company.
I don't know. Yeah, well, Texas, big and bold, right? So anybody that
Big and
had
bold.
had that kind of culture, I suppose.
That's a good call.
And they're powerhouses
They
of
are.
cigars. That's at least their like stigma. I don't think they all are, but they're known, like Roma Craft is known as like strong cigars.
And we also, aren't against stuff like that. We just put in our first black label trading company order, which I
am
feel
so
like
pumped on that one.
they kind of share space, in the market for the types of cigars
Yeah.
that they're known for making.
Have
right?
you ever seen these Black Label Trading Co. or like the Killer Bees?
I have. Again, I think it's awesome.
It
I think
stands
they
out,
look
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
But see, it's with Black Label Trading Co. (BLTC). I always never it stood out, but I never liked the packaging. Like it wasn't my style. It was like kind of scary to me.
I'm with you. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're
I
saying.
respect the fact that
Yeah.
like I remember every time I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It stands out. But I'm not really interested in it. And then Noah gave me a Last Rites a couple weeks ago and I smoked that thing and I'm like, this cigar rocks. And you're like, yeah, all the rest of them do too. And we're like, bring them in.
And I was always kind of on the other side of things where, like, a lot of my past is like I listen to a lot of heavy music, and so there's a lot of artwork that's involved with it, like the Santa Muerte, Last Rites. That it's not. I don't want to call it gothic because that's not what it is, but it's definitely there's a hard edge to the look of those cigars, and I personally think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to like fall down that brand rabbit hole for a little bit when we get them in next week.
I'm stoked on the Santa Muertes coming.
Are you confident in it that it's gonna
I think
do
so.
well?
Yeah. Well, one, I smoked a couple of them, loved them. Noah really likes them, and when Noah really likes something, they move.
That's just how it operates here, though, right?
And you get
We're
to
genuine.
you
right?
need to be introduced to them.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something that you necessarily will just walk in and grab, but if you're getting, I mean, what we talk about all the time, the service, the like being able to not just walk in and sell people stuff, but to walk in and like truly understand what they like and then recommend something they're going to love.
Well,
I think that brand's going to do really. It's kind of like Domain-esque as far as like power, Nicaragua. Like, I think it'll do well.
and like to your point, we were just talking about it. I mean, you just sold these 3 young guys on Rodriguez. I guarantee you, no offense, Danny, if you watch this, that they've never heard of a Rodriguez cigar.
Yeah.
So you're not going to come in our humidor and be like, "Oh, I'm looking for a Rodriguez," but they're really good
Unless you're Larry
cigars.
Hitchcock.
Well, there's a lot of
That's
people
true.
that are in the know. And that's actually funny. There's a deep connection to Cincinnati, Ohio, and
Key West.
Rodriguez. I don't know if it's just Key West, but specifically Danny and Rodriguez. He knew a lot of our regulars and members when he came here. A lot of people go on vacation to Key West and they stop at the Rodriguez place. They do the little tour and have a cigar and stuff like that. But, our humidor is cool because it's not a humidor you walk into. You walk into a lot of humidors and it's full of things that you have to sell cigars, right? You walk into our humidor and we've worked over the course of a year to put together a curated selection of cigars that we like.
Yep.
And I mean, for better or worse, it's working.
Yep.
Hey,
Totally agree.
quick, this isn't a transition at all, but a quick side note on Danny.
Yeah.
So Danny, first time, I mean, you've known him for a long time. First time I met him, we went to a Reds game. I can't even remember who they were playing, but
We were sitting in the bullpen.
yeah,
Basically.
my company was nice enough to give us 4 seats, and Dave and Danny and my wife go down there, and Dave and Danny, stopped at, I'm sure, a local watering hole beforehand, and I mean, there is no guy more fun to go to a baseball game than with Danny. I mean,
Few
I
people
felt
more interesting. Period.
I felt like I was with my 6-year-old son, the first time at a baseball game.
Yeah.
He was so excited.
It was
was
awesome.
so awesome.
And I mean, I think he played college baseball, just big into the sport, and the culture of being down in Key West too. Baseball's so big down
And
there.
whoever they were playing, he was chirping the fans
Was
all
it the
around us.
Cubs? No,
I
it
think,
wasn't the
whatever.
Cubs.
We were on the visitor side,
Yeah.
right by the visitor
As they
dugout.
came in.
So all of their fans are there, and Danny doesn't care about the Reds, but he turned around and was chirping them all game long.
It was awesome.
So good.
It was awesome. Always a pleasure to have you in town, Danny. When are you coming back?
Mm-hmm.
We need you here, and we need you on the pod. Quick check-in on the cigar, and then it's time to light the second one.
Well, my ash just fell off at, I think, almost about an inch.
Wow.
Cocoa, leather, pepper, woodsy. It's Padron, man.
You like it?
I'm liking it, yeah. I dig this. I'm not going to say it. I think this is one of my favorites, right?
I
We'll
don't
see.
know.
We shall see. But
What?
I think that this is one of my favorites.
Now that says a lot coming from him. I feel like
Wait,
One of my favorite Padrones.
Okay. Because I feel like you're not ever going to say any legacy brand is one of your favorites. So.
That's not true. I have nothing against legacy brands. We're just in, and I like the way.
I mean, he's
that-
been begging for La Roma de Cuba for the pat, and we just ordered it.
I think that there's a place for certain legacy, heritage, whatever you want to call it, and I think maybe that might be a different distinction. So we'll stick with legacy, right? Padron is a legacy brand. They're a legacy in the industry. They're a legacy brand because year after year, crop after crop, they produce consistent cigars that people want to pick up and enjoy to smoke. Christmas dinner, like when we went out to Tony's, we came back here. I had a Padron Family Series. It's perfect for that occasion.
Yes.
It just it holds up to that. And I reach for. I mean, I smoke a lot of Padron thousands. Right? I like them. I think that.
I think you're smoking one right now.
I might be.
Right,
I think
coming out of the gate.
when you only smoke though, like into the legacy brands, you end up in a really boring situation. My opinion, right? This is all opinion based, and there are so many. The boutique cigars. We say the word boutique, but really it's kind of crafted, right? You're getting different expressions. There's not that many different tobaccos out there, so people are purchasing tobaccos from similar or the same places
and making them in the same factories a lot of times.
But when you get somebody else's idea of what a cigar should be, they talk about, I blended this because I like it, put it on the market, and it takes off. Just trying different brands can expose you to different experiences, and that's what a cigar is. It's an experience, right?
All right, light up. Number 2.
I don't get to finish this one?
Well, you can come back to it. But we can't sit here for 2.5 hours.
I mean, I'm almost done.
Great.
No, I will say from a Padron perspective, when BG and Ember and I were talking about opening Creekside, I didn't know a whole lot about the cigar, like what it takes, the relationships.
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship business, but I did not understand how deep of a relationship business this is. And I'm talking to you.
How so? Elaborate on that, because on the last podcast we literally just talked about.
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna talk about Padron specifically. So I said when we open this place, we're gonna have a full shelf of Padron, right? And you looked at me and laughed. You're like, absolutely not. I'm like, what do you mean? You don't like Padron? You're like, no, that is not the issue at all. Like, you can't just open your doors and have a shelf full of Padron. And
they won't sell it. You'll be on a wait list.
Right, right. And so I was like, well, I don't want to open a cigar lounge unless we can have Padron in it. And so I'm like, can we get
and we did open it without Padron.
And yeah, we did. And I was like, can we buy them from somebody else and put them in here? And you're like, no, this is a relationship business, and they will know. Like, they will find out that we didn't, because they only sell direct, right?
Yep.
So like, they will find out that you are selling Padrons that you didn't buy from them, which means that you are never going to be able to sell Padron. So, I mean, credit to you and Ramsey and the video team. I mean, I can't remember. It was a Jeffrey Padron.
Yep.
So Jeffrey Padron, Dave has known the Padron, part of the Padron family for a long time, reached out to them regularly, and was sending them videos.
Yep.
And
then I have to give credit. Our head of development at Bright Wild. I was reaching out to them. We were on the wait list. I was sending them photos and videos of the space. I was like, I'm telling you guys, you're going to be okay with having Padron being sold here at Creekside. And that, it's like, okay, cool. I can't imagine how many emails they get about like that. But then our head of development, Brad, one day we were on a call. He was asking me about the lounge. How's it going? He's like, you guys have Padron? And I kind of did. I'm like, no. He's like, oh, he's opened tons and tons of restaurants and hotels across Florida. And he's like, I know Jeffrey from a hotel that I opened. Would it be helpful if I send you an email intro? And I'm like, yes, Brad, it would be very helpful if you did that.
Very much.
So he did that. And then.
So that is my point, is that, like, it's a relationship business.
It is, yep.
And so, Dave was, kind of making fun of me and like, no, we're not going to have Padron. And then I think it was like
a couple months,
month
max.
2 or 3. Dave shoots us a picture of a letter that he got from Jeffrey Padron saying, hey, I've been watching you guys been watching your social media feeds and your videos, and we're ready. When you guys are ready to make an order, we're ready. Now,
it was awesome.
It was awesome. I will say it was a big order for us at the time. That
it was like, hey,
be careful what you wish for.
They opened us up, and it was like, yes, but this is what we have to purchase.
No,
and it was like, cool, whatever we have to do. Like,
I mean, just
and that though speaks to Padron in so many ways that, like, it was for us. It was the biggest order we'd ever placed with cigars. Period. Still is to this day. That was the biggest order, and there was not an ounce of like, should we do that? It was like immediately yes,
and 100% no regrets.
Oh, of course,
no regrets. But that's when I again, being one of the founders of this place, had to take a step back and like, wait a minute, we just got a letter.
Well, it was an email, but
email from Jeffrey
That's a modern letter.
I feel like it was a letter.
It was today's
I
letter.
feel like it was a
Today's
letter. It was a letter. I'm sticking with it.
It was
But
a
whatever.
personal email.
It had
we-
letters in it.
Yeah.
We got an email
He typed it.
from Jeffrey Padron, which I'm like, all right. So glad Ember's a part of this thing.
Yeah, and now you know what? Opus is next, and I got them in my sights.
Well, and
So we'll see.
today we have a shelf full of Padron.
We do a literal
Front to back.
the longest shelf we have, and it is left to right all Padron.
100%.
Better
And I
get in
think
here.
there's even a couple SKUs under it. Because we
There
have
are.
a lot of Padron in there.
And honestly, the one I've been most excited to get, I should have brought some out to show everybody, is the Corticos, the Padron Corticos, the little guys.
Yeah.
Have you had those yet, Wick? Oh my.
Little
God.
snackies.
So I'd never seen them before anywhere. I think maybe in the tins, but like a box of these like 4.5 by 36, maybe 4 by 36. They're not like cigarillo size. They're bigger, but they're small cigars. And it's from their, I think, 26 series. And I would always see them on the price list. I'd always add them to our order, and they would never like ship those ones. They were never in stock, or maybe they're hard to get. And then one day, did my usual order, added the Corticos in the boxes, and they shipped with them. And I was like, oh my, I am so excited for these. They're like $7.50 or $8. And the natural one is my favorite in that one. And you said when you smoked, you're like, dude, it's like cashews. And I'm like, a Padron that's like
Yeah.
nutty and sweet doesn't seem like Padroni to me. And it is. It's
Cashew
like
butter
smooth,
on graham crackers.
sweet, buttery. Like, huge fan of that cigar. Actually, what we should do is put up just a little sampler of like 3 of them. I don't know how many we have, but I'll put whatever we have in stock. I'll put them on the website because I can't find these things anywhere. Like, we are the only place that I know of having them, and I just love this cigar so much. So if we have enough in stock, we'll put them up on the website so you guys can try them. But really awesome cigar.
All right.
Well,
So I just lit this.
you're about to make a call.
No, I mean,
The
from
pick is in.
Do it.
from first rip. I mean, first of all, the box pressed. I'm guessing this is a 48.
Ooh, nice.
Which is a smaller ring gauge than
Yes,
than,
for
I,
yours.
than I smoke regularly. Mostly because I like a cigar to last a long time. But man, this to me is just classic Padron. I mean, in the words of BG, right off the rip, so good.
Like noticeably different than the last one.
It is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very different flavor profile. This one's got a lot more leather. It's like a very vegetal forward note
Yeah.
that's in there, a little bit of pepper to it, and it's kind of got that that mustiness that some of these cigars kind of carry with them. You know?
Is mustiness a good thing?
Yes, I think
Sometimes it's
that
like
it is.
age.
There's a mustiness that's like a crappy old basement, and then there's a mustiness that's like being in the woods at fall, right? As like I use that a lot because it's the only thing I really can know that like it's got that sweet type of like organic mustiness.
Yeah.
Right?
I have never heard of mustiness used in a favorable way, but I
But if
appreciate it.
mustiness is that, you're in.
I think of mustiness as my golf shoes in the trunk of my car right now.
That's crustiness. So there's a difference.
No, that is Connor's jeans.
Shots fired. That's a great way to bring it back. That's a full circle moment, and I approve that fully.
But the other one was a lot more chocolate forward. Still had the pepper leather and that earthiness that you'd expect
But
from
sweeter.
Padron. That earthy core is definitely in everything that they do, right?
Yeah.
And it's very distinctively Padron, but that vegetal forward and that kind of mustiness is very much sticking out to me. Maybe mustiness isn't the right word, but that's the word that I'm going to use.
So I don't say this a lot.
Well.
I'm getting some floral notes out of this thing.
Ooh, Wick going floral.
It's retro.
I like that. All right. We move on to more questions from Mr. Almost 7. Must be a Steelers fan. I feel you, brother. We're almost there. Next year, we're getting the 7th ring. He says, I'm going to quickly go into this. I would love to know which Vitola you guys recommend in the Le Karim by Crowned Heads. I'm a Robusto guy in that cigar. I don't know. I like how it starts. It's like right off the bat you get more. I've had the Canonanza. I can never say that size.
Canonazzo?
Canonazzo.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but to me, they're pretty much the same. One's longer. Yeah. They're the same ring gauge, right? I mean, they're all very much similar enough to be the same ring gauge. So it's like Robusto versus Toro if you were talking a 550 versus a 650. I think they are 50 or 52. They've got a very hard box press on them. And I don't really think if they weren't going to do something, in a rounded profile, bigger, or you're not going to get that much difference in between them. So do you want to smoke for an hour or do you want to smoke for an hour and 20 minutes? That's Robusto versus the Canonazzo, which is the two that we carry. I don't even know if there's any more. Those are the only two Vitolas we've ever had in that cigar.
I was just going to ask if they make it in a Toro. If so, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's like the Canonanza. Yeah.
That would be the Toro.
Yeah.
I will say, like as I've gotten more into cigars, and this is like unique for me.
Okay, I'm excited.
I had never been a box press guy. I just always thought it was kind of weird.
But you love Padron. Except Padron.
Well, honestly, the Padron, no, you're right. Yeah, except for Padron. But yeah, I mean, I like that the La Carême.
Yeah.
I like that kind of turned me on to some more box press cigars.
What's your favorite Crown Heads? Did you smoke Crown Heads before Creekside?
I don't think so. It's you're really putting me on the spot now.
There's no pressure.
Well, there is pressure if I name an Aganorsa.
There's pressure if I say something that's
My
not
favorite
Crown Heads.
Crown Head cigar. Supreme Leaf.
All right. Well, I mean, I would say, like, in terms of, like...
Play it safe and just say La Kareem.
I'm going to, like, in terms of everyday, like, smoke on any occasion, I'm going to go with the Mil Diaz.
Ooh. That is Crown Heads. Good job.
But I believe this is also Crown Heads. Sorry, Jake, if it's not. The Cornetta.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like, you turned me on to that.
I
I know you love the Habano, but, man, I'm into the Maduro.
I also really like the Maduro, actually, in that one. But, yeah, I think that's such a great cigar. Yep.
Oh, I'm so glad I got that right.
You nailed both of those. Crushed. You can come back. This is the most random question. There's no context here, okay?
All right.
From U4YK. I don't know what that means. What if I don't like Davidoff? Double question mark.
Double question mark. These guys very curious about that. Okay, you don't like Davidoff.
Well, then we've got plenty of cigars for you here. Because we only have one Vitola.
Yeah, you can come in blind, close your eyes, grab anything, and have a 99% shot. You won't grab a Davidoff here. So if you don't like Davidoff, I don't know, you're in good company. I like it, but like you don't, it's not going to be in here.
Well, I would say like, what are we gonna? We can do the typical internet thing and say that like, there's one of two ways. So what? Or you're just an uncultured swine. You should like Davidoff because listen. So what? You don't like Davidoff. I don't like a lot of what Davidoff does either. They're great cigars, but they're not something I'm going to reach for because I find them all to be quite plain.
Yeah.
It's nothing really special about it. But you can, like we were talking about PG, right? Davidoff tobacco made into a different expression with somebody else who is more, I don't know.
They just have a different palate.
Have you had the Davidoff late hour? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one that's like
I have the
rum.
little ones that we got in there.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't know if that's the same experience as the bigger ones. And I just kind of still found it
That one's got funk, in my opinion.
I thought so, too. That's why I thought it was interesting that you think it's plain.
I get more mustiness out of that cigar. But like I would say, generally speaking, they're lighter.
Yeah.
They're not like strong or heavy cigars. They can be complex. I wouldn't say they're not complex.
The overall approach of Davidoff, I think, is just to create an easy smoking and elegant cigar that anybody can grab, and it's really known for being this super
it's European
high-end
vibes.
thing. And whenever you light one up, it's going to be very well constructed. It's going to smoke perfectly. There's all that element that's going to be there. If you handed me a Davidoff, I would smoke it with you. I wouldn't complain. I'd be happy about it. Would I go and spend my money on one over something else? Probably not. That's just me, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't dislike Davidoff. I just don't go for it a lot.
And they won't sell it to us. So leave it in the comments if you want Davidoff at Creekside. Ask them. They won't get back to us on that one.
I for one, would love to have Davidoff in the Humidor.
I think it'd be cool.
We'd love to have it.
And I think also they do make great cigars. And there's a large group of people, I would say, you would know this even more, Noah, that would like to smoke Davidoff. But we've kind of coined this demographic of cigars, like our, European, what's that wall we want to do with like Principal, Castagli, PG, that like genre of really well-aged blended Dominican cigars has, like, it fulfills that Davidoff smokers.
It's just a type,
palette.
Of cigar. That whole, I guess it's typecasting, right? These cigars,
Okay,
we kind of like put them into that one little section like that. So we're kind of, as we, develop the humidor to get it quite, a little bit more of what we want and kind of put some order to a little bit of the chaos that happens in there sometimes. Just, I think it's just a corner of the market, and that's what people want. And I think that there's a lot of good cigars along those lines. So don't just like discount all those types of cigars because you didn't like Davidoff. Like definitely try the PGs, like, try some Cuban farm rolls if you get the chance. Try some other stuff that's going to be like a Davidoff, because there are plenty of cigars that are blended and made like that. And there's a time and a place for that type of cigar.
I forgot that, so Zino Platinum is Davidoff, right?
Yes. I don't know if it's made at Davidoff, but it falls under their, like, we have a Davidoff account, but it's Abo, Ferriotego, Zino.
Yeah. So the Zino Platinum Rocket, have you ever had that?
No.
One, it's a Connecticut. One of my favorite.
That's the one with the silver band. We had them for a little bit.
It comes in the silver tube.
Yes.
I think one of the most well-constructed, like, consistent all the way through smokes that I've ever had. And I love it. So
We're bringing it back.
How would you guys how would you compare Davidoff to a brand that we carry in United with Atabey and Byron?
So if you compare it to Atabey, which I see that comparison, the elegance, the craftsmanship, the quality of everything, more on the lighter side, but Atabey is, to me, more flavor forward.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
that would be the biggest. And that's a general blanket, because like I've had strong Davidoffs. Actually, they do that chef's edition, which is just cool. Like everything about it is cool. They do it once a year. And the one from like 2020 or 2021 like knocked me out. Like it was strong. And I was like, I cannot believe this is Davidoff. But blanket wise, they're more mild cigars, and so they're like ultra premium mild stuff. Comparing it to Atabey just has more to offer.
So
flavor-wise.
that's why I asked, because here is the first place I've ever had in Atabey, and it reminded me a lot of that Zino Platinum Rocket, which is I think retail $35-$40 cigar.
Yep.
Which is
Have you
similar.
Have you had the Gold Star yet?
I have.
Did you like it?
I did. I thought
I think it's great.
Amazing for the price point on that cigar. What is it? A $15 cigar?
The Toro's
even,
15.
yeah.
The Robusto's $13.
Yeah.
Yeah. The which, if you haven't heard, we're one of the first 10 shops to have Gold Star. I just love that because I think it's a great cigar.
We're not talking chili right now.
Yeah. For all of our Cincinnati folk,
it's a cool thing
Skyline
to be able
is
to
better.
say. I mean, United is a fantastic cigar manufacturer.
I didn't realize how young they were. Like United hasn't been around that long.
I didn't
Under 10 years.
I didn't realize how young you were.
Thank you, Rick. 31 years young.
I won't ask you, Noah.
Ooh.
That's me.
You want to reveal old Mo? He's revealing it by the hat. All right, let's check back in on the cigars. What are we thinking?
Well, the chocolate is there now, and it still has that same profile, very vegetal forward, that delightful mustiness.
Is it like a powdery chocolate? Like,
It
is there
is
a difference in the chocolates between those two? And I'll explain this once we reveal them, of why I think they'd be different.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's just that same type. And it's Padron. Both of them are Padron. Those using the same tobaccos to get to the end goal, right? One's going to be more select and one's going to be less. So maybe it's a little bit more concentrated in Cigar A because it's the dominant note there. Right? This is not the dominant note here. It's kind of a lingering note with some coffee and leather.
All right, so this isn't going to be nearly as sophisticated as that.
He's hedging.
Or as professional as that. But what I will tell you is, are you guys ever sitting out on the porch at, let's say, 5 p.m. after a long day of work?
Okay.
And you've got this much left of a cigar. And your wife yells out, "Hey, dinner's ready. You got to come in." And there are some cigars that you'll just put down and be like, yeah, that's fine. I've got plenty of cigars. I'll get another one. I think this is one where I say you're gonna have to wait till I'm finished.
Or that begs the question: how long can you wait with a cigar unlit to come back to it?
I think you're going to find varying opinions there.
What's your opinion?
My opinion is probably like a 2, maybe 3 hour window. Because if you know
Yeah, I
how to
think
purge a cigar, right, then
Yeah.
you can take care
Like
of some of the
blowing through it.
Yeah, light it up, blow, do the whole purging thing, and then let it cool, relight it, and move forward with it. It's going to be the same cigar. Don't let it sit overnight or a day or two. Definitely, this recently came up in the lounge. Somebody came in here with a Ziploc bag of a cigar they bought here, smoked half of it, put it in a bag, kept it there in that bag all day and night, came back 2 days later with that same cigar in that bag, and I was like, don't light that up in here, dude. Don't smoke
I will go
that
grab you
anywhere,
another one before
right?
you light that.
It's just, they're going to sour out. There's definitely a window.
I did that once in college, saved it. It was, I don't know what cigar it was. Smoked half of it, put it back in the zip bag, sealed it, went back to it like a day or two later. I opened the bag and almost fell over. It was so disgusting smelling, and I just didn't smoke it.
That's a chemical weapon.
We've got a good buddy, a good friend, member here at the lounge who I'm not going to name. Will finish a cigar.
Name it and claim it.
At the golf course at TPC Rivers Bend. You sit around these Adirondack chairs, and somebody will leave a cigar that they've only smoked a third of. If he doesn't have one left with him, I've seen him pick it up and smoke it.
Oh my.
And never seen him complain. It could have been there for a week. So I think he would say there's no expiration.
There's no expiration on a started cigar. Wow.
Homeboy's palate is 100% cooked.
No names. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
No names.
Don't
know.
do that.
We know. Wow.
Unless
I
you
kinda
really
want you to
like
reveal
it
the
and
name.
then do it.
I'm going to
Still
ask you
keep
about this
doing it.
after. I want to know. All right. So one, I feel like this is probably going to be pretty easy for you guys, but do you know which one is which? Like if you could guess the higher price point cigar, which one would it be? And then also which one do you like more?
I think that the higher price point is the one I'm currently smoking.
Number 2.
Cigar B, number 2. Just due to the complexity of it. And I think I like the first one better.
Really?
Yeah. This one's
Why?
not bad.
Why do you like the first one better?
It's just that dominant chocolatey. It's what I
Yeah.
look for in a Maduro, right?
Yep.
That's why I love the Tabernacle. That's why I love, Sarto, the Domain Entropy, all of the broadleaf and Maduro cigars that I like. I really enjoy that chocolatey coffee forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking with number 2. The first one I really did like and honestly hated to put down. I continued to smoke it while Noah lit this one up. But again, if this cigar is sitting there next to that one with the same amount left, I'm picking this one up.
So do you think that? So you agree? You think that's the higher price point one?
I do. I think some of it just because of the fact that it's box press.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably impacting my view of it.
Is that not box press? That's box press.
Yeah, they
It's
both are. That
that's a
one
softer
feels
box.
way softer.
Yeah.
Like it almost is round. But and this one, that one's like
This is
sliced,
sharp.
could cut your thumb off.
yeah.
Very sharp box press.
You guys both are correct. Congratulations.
Can we guess?
You can guess what they are.
I'm guessing the 1964.
Okay.
I don't know. On
You
this one,
can't even guess?
I have no clue. Oh, sure, 64. I'll go with the 64 because I think we have more of those in there. So the odds of you grabbing that would be higher, I think. But
All right. Well, it's on the screen because I know what it is, but I don't know if it's the 26 or the 64. But the one you're smoking now is the 85th, the Family Series 85th. In Maduro.
Which makes so much sense. This is one of my favorite
Yeah.
cigars of all time.
And I think it's a 50 gauge, but with the box press it seems even smaller. But
Yeah.
you're very close with the 48 Col. It's
Definitely.
like a 5.5 by 50, 85 Maduro. I don't know why I'm blanking on if that's this 26 or the 64, but regardless, it's on the screen, people. And
I thought the Family Series was out. The Family Reserve or the Family Series. I thought those were kind of outside 64 and 26.
Wait, yeah.
You
I
might
don't
be-
know,
you might
but
be
I don't
right.
know. I'm not a big Padron guy, right?
I think
When
I think
go
the,
for-
I think this,
Standby.
I think it might be. I think this is a family reserve if it's the 85th.
when I reach for a Padron,
It is the family reserve, but I thought they were either 26 or 64.
Okay.
And survey says it is 64.
I mean, my first
okay.
ever time doing this. I don't think I've ever seen you guys guess one right.
I mean, you guessed the more. You didn't guess 85. You didn't guess the specific one.
I
Oh, you did
know.
say 64.
I
though.
did
You
say
did say
64.
64.
But we also, aren't blindly giving
I know.
our favorite
I know.
brands.
No, Wick, you totally did. You nailed it.
Yeah.
We fall at your presence. And then cigar A is the Padron 3000 Maduro.
Yeah.
Old Faithful.
Yeah. The 2000, because of the Vitola size, is my absolute favorite. 3000, good stand-in.
Great. Yeah. Just a great cigar. And yeah, it is box press, but it's like the hardest part. I was in there and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize how, like, visually how different these cigars are just because of how hard box press the core line is versus the 1000 series. But it's like, it's a very subtle.
Is there a 6,000?
There is. Yeah.
That's what I was
that's
going
a
to guess that was.
60.
So I got that one wrong.
They go from lower to higher as they get the bigger
Oh, I skipped asking you
Vitolas.
guys to guess that. I'm sorry, Ramsey. I'm sorry, people. But you
It just
guessed
told
that it
us-
was the lower one.
I knew it was 1,000.
Yeah.
When I lit it up, I was like, this is a Padron 1000 Maduro.
And at $10.50 or $11, it is a value cigar.
It's a
the
value
max.
cigar, but that's also a budget banger.
Yeah.
Right? So
Wow.
it's that you kind of
It's
pull
a
out,
double whammy.
You pull out both categories, right? Because this is a value cigar as well. I don't know what's the price point on this one. $35.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Something like that.
29
this
maybe.
is still a very good cigar. I'm not ever, I'm not trying to put this cigar down in any way. It would just not be something that I would want over that experience, right?
Yep.
Because it's got that chocolatiness, that nuttiness, that roasty coffee, and that's what I reach for in Padron, which is all here. It just has the other flavors along with it, a little bit more complexity. Still a great cigar. I'm a Padron Thousands guy.
I personally like expensive things.
Hence the vest
Yeah. So yeah.
and the hooded T-shirt.
Yes.
Hey.
Wait until you see those.
Yeah. This will be the great test of if it was worth us doing that.
I agree.
We got new Creekside merch coming out. By the time no, it won't be out by the time this is out, but for online people, April 6th or April 7th, Creekside merch will drop. We're going to launch it at our anniversary weekend on the weekend of April 4th, and then it will go online shortly after that Sunday. So be on the lookout for new Creekside merch, and I'm really excited about it. But
I'm going to go on record right now and say, sorry, if you're not here, you're not going to get one of these hooded tees.
You
They're
probably
going to be gone.
won't. So
They're going to be gone.
Start booking your travel. But yeah, we were getting these long sleeve T-shirts, and Wick was like, "We need one with a hood," and we're all like, "Okay." Like I don't. Do people wear hooded T-shirts? And then Wick sent us this selfie, and you're done. And so then we bought a bunch of the hooded T-shirts. So we will see. We got equal amounts of hooded and non-hooded long sleeves.
Hey,
The people will decide who the winner is.
quick shout out to the Indian Queen in Augusta, Georgia. One of the best bars that you'll ever go to. Check it out Masters Week if you're there in town. Good buddy of mine, Ryan McCardle, owns it and gave me one of those hooded tees, long sleeve tees, and I wear it like almost every night when it's like this.
Yeah,
And
no,
he
perfect,
told
Sam.
me it is their single bestseller.
Well, we shall see. I'll
Yep.
rep it. I'll rep it one day.
You will.
I'll put on like a Wick fit for a podcast, and I'll have the hooded T-shirt on
With the old Mo hat.
with the old Mo hat. But yeah,
And
go ahead.
And some jeans that have 4 buttons right down here.
You have jeans with 4 buttons.
No.
That's
But you
the
can
Connor
borrow them
fit.
from Connor.
Oh, yeah. I can borrow them from kind of well worn in
Yes.
CP. I'm really excited for that merch. And also, last thing, the Bic Gang is strong. Noah, we've seen it in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
I got it right here. It's right here.
The white one?
Oh, no. It's on the floor.
Okay. That's the best part about Bics, you know? This is my personal favorite one. Got the Creekside Bic. We have a limited anniversary one coming out That will also be available on our 1 year, the weekend of the 4th. And Wick has the ever elusive Creekside Cigar Club Bic that went in a lot of random shipments of our first ever Cigar Club shipment in March. So anyway, if you're not part of the Bic gang, we're going to be dropping some online, so you'll be able to grab them. I think it's just a fun way to like. I use a Bic when I smoke cigars, and it's fun that we can create these kind of one-off, cool expressions of Creekside on them.
It's neat. It's a like a token of a time, a thing that we did. So
the new Matchbox, but I also love Matchboxes. Any last thoughts from you gentlemen? Wick, it's been great having you. We got to do this more often.
No, I probably not going to happen very much. But
he's gonna be banned after this one.
No, sorry, Connor. No, I love.
We'll see what the people say.
I love this place. I love what Noah is doing from a hospitality standpoint. I love what you're doing from a humidor standpoint. This place is my pride and joy, and just and it wouldn't be that if it weren't for the two of you. So I love this place. Love our regulars. Love people that come in to visit. Love people that are just watching us online. It truly is humbling, and it's a blessing. So just love it.
It's awesome.
I would say it is us, but it's also you, and it's also BG, and it's also Ryan, and it's Matt, and it's Josh, and it's Andrew as well.
And Connor.
And Connor.
But great job remembering all. It's like we have one genre of names. Yeah. And it was like all people born in the 80s and 90s. And it's like, is it Matt, Josh, Connor, Ryan? Like, who is it? Yeah. And then Noah in the Ark running the whole ship.
All right.
Until next time, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. If you were smoking something, let us know what you're smoking in the comments and what you thought about having Mr. Wick here on the pod. Until next time, go smoke in good company. We'll talk to you all soon. Peace.